What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna show you how to turn all these materials into a really nice set of garage shelves. So we moved into our house 9-10 months ago, and of course did the epoxy garage floor. We repaired all the walls, painted everything, installed all the LED lighting. Since then, we've accumulated just a little bit of clutter, got a few things up on top of my workbench area and stuff over here that is just kind of in the way, not the best looking. So what I've done is installed and built a really nice set of nicely structural shelves above the garage, and we're testing them out to make sure they can handle just a little bit of weight. And then as far as the materials you're gonna want, this is a pretty inexpensive project. I have a bunch of 2-inch decking screws, 3-inch decking screws, and then 4-inch bolts that are a 14 millimeter. Of course, you're gonna need a few drill bits, you're gonna have a square, a few tools as you would expect. And with all these tools, this is a 8-foot by 4-foot piece of plywood cut vertically in half. And then these are 8-foot long 2x4s. So let's say we get working on building the next one.
Can you grab me the ladder though?
Yeah, might need to do that. So to start it off, I'm gonna measure the distance between the two beams that are already on the face of the wall above the garage. With that measurement, I'm gonna grab 2 of the 2x4s and we're gonna cut them to size so they can fit inside of the beams. And then mocking them up onto the piece of plywood, we're gonna cut off the excess of the plywood, that way everything lines up perfectly. And from there, I'm gonna take another 2x4 and cut it into 4 separate pieces that are gonna be the cross braces for this entire platform shelf. And with it mocked up, you can see the entire design and measurement. We're looking at 91.5 inches wide, and then all 4 of the cross beams ended up being 21 1/4 inches long. So with the mock-up complete, I'm now going to basically assemble this platform on the actual wall. So I'm gonna use my finishing nail gun to just help tack everything in place. That way when I start screwing them into place, it will make it just a lot easier. To prevent any splitting of the 2x4s, I am drilling pilot holes through this and into the wall behind it. Moving on to the 4 cross beams, once again I'm going to tack it into place using the nail gun, and then I'm using the drill bit once again to drill a 45-degree angle through both pieces of 2x4s, where I will then add that 3-inch decking screw and bolt these all the way securely. And then if you'll notice that silver bolt head on the far right side, what I'm doing is drilling a hole through all these 2x4s and into the 2x4 behind the drywall, and then I'm going to take that big stud and bolt this all together just to get all of my corners extremely secure. Moving on to the braces that are going to connect this to the wall once again, I'm taking a 2x4 with a 45-degree angle cut and then measuring the bottom so it's nice and flush against the sides. And with everything cut, you're going to see one of them is going to be a little bit longer just because on the inside towards the garage door chain, I need to put these on the side of that beam rather than on top of it just because there's no clearance next to the track for the garage. And then I'm going to use 2 decking screws up on top going into the wall behind, 3 decking screws in the lower section going into the cross beam for the 2x4, and then drilling a hole in the top to secure a bolt through the top of this beam. And then with a little bit of assistance, we're going to take the other 2x4 that we had cut to length and just bring this up here. I'm going to tack it into place with a nail gun once again, and then pre-drill a hole in each cross beam, and then put another 3-inch decking screw through this to secure the platform. And then we can just throw the piece of plywood up on top. I cut it to a perfect dimension to where it needed a little bit of persuasion with the hammer to get it all lined up. And then I'm gonna take the 2-inch decking screws and bolt down this piece of plywood in every crossbeam of the 2x4s, as well as having 3 screws in the front as well as the back, just to make sure the entire platform comes together to be nice and secure. So a few hours later, we are all done with the second shelf up there. It's a pretty straightforward installation and build. And again, this was about 80 bucks worth of raw materials. And yes, this does clear the garage door. So of course, when you're measuring this, you wanna make sure the bottom end of this is going to clear where the garage door will end up being. So make sure you are very cautious with that. And then if you notice, these support beams that I did have to change it up a little bit. On this far side, I have them going right into these massive studs. However, over on the inside here, there's no clearance to really do that exact same design because I can't get more tools in there. So I had to make it go on the side. But as you can see, everything is pretty nice and square, and these are really, really sturdy as well. So then now all that's left to do, we're gonna go ahead and give it a nice coat of paint, just make everything nice and clean, and then we can load up some of the clutter in the garage all up on these nice sturdy shelves. So there we are all done now with the garage door shelving. So at the end of the day, this is about $80. One piece of plywood, that was like $22. I bought 8 2x4s, which were like $3.65. And then quite a few of those big bolts, the screws, the little screws, and that was about it. These are 93 inches wide by 2 feet deep, and they are about 17 inches from the ceiling to the top of the actual shelf itself. And luckily the bins that we have are about an inch smaller than that. So if we do clear this up and put some bins up there, we're able to do that and kind of condense it a little bit more. But there we go, it looks really good. I'm pretty happy with how it ended up. So we got just some chemical stuff, lawn care things, electrical, some oil change items, and then all on the back side of this one are the spare 2x4s that I didn't need. I bought a few extras that I didn't need. And then we have some other pieces of wood from other projects, but of course we'll use that. And then we have the little horses that I got, cornhole, and a few other items. And now we can take a look at the garage. This is really nice and neat now with the floor jack and lawnmower. I do need to get a rack for the ladder just to get that off the ground, actually off the lawnmower's wheels. And then we have just a few things hanging up. Refrigerator's looking pretty clean, a few items in there, and then the workbench and everything is really, really nice and clean and nothing in that corner. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video installing and building the entire garage door shelving system. Pretty straightforward to do. And there you go. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and check out the video down below where I completely renovated this garage because this was pretty bad when I moved in, and now everything is really coming together. See you guys in the next video.